Run, shoot, see, fly. So this play is like the prototypical level read play. And we explain what is a level read. So you'll notice that the front seven on this play, nobody actually goes out in coverage, which means you're going to get, single coverage or no coverage, or sometimes double. But if you watch the levels of these guys, you notice right from the snap, I already know wide receiver number 2 is open, just because of the way that cornerback motion is. So once that cornerback moves, I already know that, well, let's see, I can't get quite back to the original line of scrimmage, but once you see that motion, you know exactly who's open. Here again, right, you got this set up, and I pretty much anticipated that wide receiver number 1 is open. That guy can switch off, but again, it's all based on what level they're going to take. They declare that intention pretty early in the play as to who they're going to wind up covering. So, you need to see the bailout on that guy, because you're shifted to the top. Being shifted to one side or the other is going to kind of confuse that read a little bit. You see here, right, he just runs after the guy that he's trying to cover. So, again, then you say, well, what's the weakness of this play? You've got 4 guys out there and not going to get any linebacker help underneath, and yada yada yada. Well, it takes a while to run this play, right? So there's your first guy that comes open, and it's like 2 or 3 seconds in this play. So one of the things you do is you just come after him. If you got a guy like Offerdahl, the way you mix this up is you just come straight after the quarterback. And yes, this guy's going to be open, but by then you should already have him grappled. And if you see, so here's the other problem, is because the level read comes early, these guys are declaring their coverage intentions pretty early. If you see that, these guys are moving up in a way that you don't like, you just bail out of it. There's really no, it makes it really safe to blitz compared to some of the other plays that you have, where normally you don't want to manually rush the passer because the guy's going to be able to go to his outlet. And then, of course, you see on the goal line, right, this thing is a disaster. Here, because it's moon, right, you can just jam it in there. But most of the time, run this play down the goal line, it's just going to be a total fail. Not like shotgun X curl, where at least you have some ability to move around or get maneuver guys on the outside. You run this guy on the goal line, it's basically you're going to be hard rushing your quarterback up through some of the next to left tackle, things like that. It's slow. The guy's going to be able to catch you. So let's talk about some of the called play options on this. By far, the normal called play option is you're going to run this curl pass to the wide receiver number 1. See there, you get the angle on it. This is a pretty nice angle that I put there. The guy's going to stop there, but then he's going to jump and get that ball. So when you see, basically regardless of what you do on this play, when you see this, you're going to take your guy and you're not going to get up there where those guys are. But what you're going to do is you're going to take the linebacker and you're going to trail in a way that you can get yourself up in the passing lane. That was interesting. Didn't mean to do that. But you're going to trail him in a way that you're in his passing lane and you're not going to overtake the play because you're going to get extra speed when the ball is loose, right? So you're going to put yourself right there is about past the 40-yard line going to 50-yard line. That way when you get the speed increase, you're going to speed up so you're right next to the receiver, and when you're right next to the receiver, then you can tip the pass. So that's the normal way to defend that specific play there. Another way is you can just have inaccurate quarterbacks, and that's how it is. Obviously, in this situation, because the wide receiver number 1 is so heavily stressed, you want to have a good wide receiver number 1 up there. For the Oilers, of course, you don't give up anything by doing this. But for most teams, a lot of times you'll have playbooks that wide receiver number 2 is better, and then you're going to have some slow guy. So this is going to be a problem if you have... that's another thing that can happen, not as common, is you'll just lead him down there. But, again, that's a timing throw. It's just you have to time it later than you normally would. And then, of course, the problem is you're holding on the ball longer, and you're going to take more sacks. But if you have a guy like B.J. Tolliver and you're trying to run this play, it gets pretty iffy because, oh, that's unfortunate. Don't actually get to show it to you. It gets pretty iffy because now you have like a questionable wide receiver number 1, and you're going to be throwing it right into the teeth of some of the safeties, and that is just kind of, it's just ugly all the way around. Again, in theory, right, he should be able to stop there, but, I'm QB Eagles, so that's why that works. Most quarterbacks aren't going to be able to have the time that's necessary to actually make this work. Some guys you see will go to this tight end here. Again, the problem is not the concept of it. The problem is the amount of time that's required for you to have to dodge a defense to be able to get him open on this play. So that's why you tend not to see that. You wind up seeing guys go into the curl pass up at the top whenever they get in a situation. And then if you roll the bottom here, you'll notice, it can be, it's about speed and angles with regards to that guy. You're just trying to make sure that he gets between those guys and the free safety. Because if you're down low and the pass goes, deeper than it should, it's just going to wind up hitting the free safety and the right cornerback, like right in the hands. So it's not what you want. That's pretty much all there is about the run and shoot Z fly. Again, it's, you're going to level read on it. You're going to watch for the blitz. With the iffy quarterbacks, you're going to try and make sure that you're lined up with them. On air patrol, you're going to go deep, typically, and then you're going to try and bait him back on some of the shorter throws. And you're going to tend to leave the tight end pretty open on that play because he's going to hold, I'll show you here. He's going to hold his coverage on that guy, for his cover guy's going to hold on him for a while. Well, okay, I'm running the wrong play. He's going to hold his coverage on him, and he's going to abandon him later in the play. He's not going to abandon him as his first thing. So notice right there, he just runs like past him. He covers him and then he bails out deep. So again, if you can buy time in the pocket, that's another option that you can go to. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your feedback, and I'll see you next time.